everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be, I guess, decorating my faith journal for this week. I haven't been doing this video because of the holidays and all the other videos I've been doing, but I have not stopped going to church, y'all. I'm still going to church. But I just haven't had the time to really sit down and do this. So, and then I was trying to think of how I'm going to do this. So I think I was confusing myself when I was doing it before because I like the way I was filming it, it was making it weird for when I was like trying to recap the sermons. I don't know. It was weird. The whole scheduling was off. So I feel like what's going to work for me is if I film this video Sunday evening and then I will upload it on Wednesdays. Yeah, I think it was Wednesdays I had decided on. So Wednesdays, this video will be uploaded on Wednesday, but I will always film this on Sunday evenings. And I think it's going to work out best for me because I can recap my sermons and what I'm gonna be like journaling for the week, and then when I film it again on Sunday, I can show you guys how I journaled and studied throughout the week for that particular sermon. That was messing me up because by the time I was filming and getting the video out, it was already middle of the week, or Saturdays I think it sometimes ended on, and it was just like throwing me off, like, okay, which one am I doing? What is happening? So that's what I'm gonna do. I have my tablet next to me, so I can pull up my verses on my Bible app and go through with you guys. I also have my notes here that I write from the sermon when I'm in church so that I can talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to be filling this out I'm not going to fill this out while I'm doing the plan with me. I'm just going to decorate. I'm going to talk about the sermon. And then when you see it again next week, I will go over this particular layout and how I filled it in and what I studied for the week while talking about the new sermon, the new topic. Okay. Because I'm telling you, I was just like, what is what now? So, of course, I'm going to go in using Live.Love.Posh's Jewel Tone Blooms. This is a sticker book that I've been using for this particular journal because I love the setup. I love the florals. And then you have these decorative boxes that you can use. We have the plain boxes, the functional set. She even gives you a washi strip set that goes with each theme. So, I love using this. And then I also grabbed the pet tape as well to see if there's any stickers on here I wanted to use. And we are going to get started. I have my faith girls with me. I'm going to choose one of these beautiful girls to add to my spread per usual, and we will get started. So many things to talk about with you guys. First of all, Happy New Year. I am so glad to be back in this frame. Even though I just started this, I just started adding this to my my planner lineup not too long ago. I think I'm going to double up. Let's do double. Oh, these are still... They're both tiny. Okay. Well, what am I going to do? Right on the bottom. Here we go. Making overcomplicating stuff. Not that serious. Let's put it underneath. Yeah, so... Yeah, even though I haven't... This is fairly new content that I'm adding to my channel. I still do miss doing this with you guys because it keeps me in tune, keeps me accountable as does everything else. So We are in the new year. Woohoo! 2025, guys. We are here. I want these lines to go, yeah. So we're going to double up. And we are getting ready. We are getting prepared for our 21-day fast. Most churches do the fast for January. Some do 31 days, like the whole January, the whole month of January. And some churches do just 21 days. So we are doing the 21 days. It starts next Sunday on the 12th. And I am excited about it. If I wasn't excited about it before, I'm excited about it now. Like, my pastor got us so hyped during the service today about, you know, the fast that's coming up. And then we have the three towards the end of the last 3 days, I believe, of our fast. We are doing 3 nights of revival, which is so nice. So I'm looking forward to that. I am thinking that I'm going to reach out to my pastor, to Pastor Frank. He's the one that does the classes that I used to teach. So he's like the head pastor of that part. So I'm going to reach out to him this week. I say that a lot, don't I? I am. I'm going to reach out to him this week and let him know that I am ready to start teaching starting from the month of February, whenever he sees fit to schedule me, and I will be ready. All right, so cute already, guys. Yeah, because those that don't know, I used to teach the class that new members would take to find out what areas they were best suited for to work in the church. Most people don't know. They just go, like I said before, I just pick kids because it's the generic thing to do. You just want to work with the kids. Just to find something. Kids, or I always find people always go, they migrate to children's church or choir. Like, those are like the go-to departments. If you don't do anything else, you do that. And kids, I love kids. They're great. They're just not my ministry. And when I started going to this church for real, like really became a member, I did the class, and surprise, surprise, it was saying that my ministry is teaching, which, like I said, never surprised me because that is my passion. That's what I love to do. And yeah, so I wasn't surprised by that. What I was surprised at was how fast, like, he just moved me right into it. Like, I watched him do a couple of the classes, and then he was like, okay, when are you ready to start? And I'm like, wait, what, huh? No. But when it comes to God, like I always say, if I'm asked to do something, I do it. Because in regards to church and things like that, it's like, how do you say no to God? Like, that's God asking you to do something. That's how I see it. So I would never say no. And before I stopped teaching, he was asking me to teach, if I wanted to start teaching the baptismals, like being there, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know. Why would you ask me that? Don't ask me that. You know I can't say no, but I'm scared. But my previous pastor who passed away, like I said, she always said, do it. If you do it afraid, it doesn't even matter, because it's not in your own strength anyway, right? It's not in our own strength. It's in God's. So if we could do it, we wouldn't give him the glory, right? If we just were an expert at it our own selves. It's like, oh, okay. You wouldn't think to say thank God. But when you do stuff and you know, listen, y'all, if he wasn't backing me, this wouldn't be done, then you know, okay, this was definitely God. So, yeah, that is, y'all, can I just say how cute that is already? All right, so let's get into the sermon for today. My not Pastor Frank, Pastor Ken. Hello. We're starting a new series. It's called Pray First. Yeah, Pray First. And today's topic was put God first. And he brought, let's see, Matthew. Let's look it up. I got my little tablet, y'all. I've been had this tablet, but it's just sitting there. And I was like, oh, I need a tablet for social media purposes. But I never use it. So, Matthew 6 and 5. Oh, let's do Amplified. I love the King James, but let's do Amplified. Okay, can we get to the... Okay, also when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray publicly, standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the streets, so that they may be seen by men. I assure you, and most solemnly say to you, they already have their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your most private room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. So, you know, the passage in Matthew is talking about the importance of prayer. And notice he says, when you pray, not if you pray, as my pastor was talking about too. It's not if you pray or when you choose to pray, or, you know, if you just so happen to pray. It's when you pray. That means it's what we're supposed to do. We were created for a relationship with God. That's what we were created for. And let's see what else. Yeah, he wants to do things. God wants to do. Can I call him Abba? That's what I call him. He's my father. I call him Abba. So if I say Abba sometimes, you guys should know. That's what I'm talking about. So I just feel more comfortable saying Abba. Maybe because of the way I was raised with religion and not relationship. It kind of throws me. God to me sometimes seems, growing up, like I always say before, like we were raised in a Pentecostal church. I cannot tell you how much they emphasized hell. I can't even begin to tell you how much they emphasized hell. I promise you, about 95% of the sermons I heard as a child in the Pentecostal churches was hell. You are going to hell. You're on your way there. You're about to be there. You're at the door. You're on the side you're around the corner from it. Everybody was always almost there. It wasn't really nothing you couldn't do. It was rules upon rules upon rules upon rules. So it was very hard for me. I talk about this a lot. As a teenager, as a child, as a young adult, to understand the whole thing. Like, the whole thing messed me up. Because I grew up, even though I always say this too, he has always been a constant in my life. As far as I can remember, I've always had a relationship with God. And growing up with parents who weren't around, I hate to say didn't want me, but I'm going to say they just weren't around. and having God to rely on, right? Because that's how I was raised. And to be taught that he was some hard taskmaster who could never be, this is my interpretation as a child, growing up in the Pentecostal churches. The way they explained it to me, the way I heard it, the way I interpreted God was a hard taskmaster who was very hard to please, who kept account of all of your sins, and was just very mean, and just whatever way to make your life miserable, God was there to do it. That's the message that I got as a kid in the Pentecostal churches. It may not have been for everybody. I'm just saying this was my experience. My experience growing up, that's the takeaway that I got. And it was very confusing to me because, like I said, I felt always a closeness to God. So it was contradictory to what I was feeling and what I was being taught. And I could not understand for the life of me why it was so hard. Why I just couldn't get it. I didn't understand. And yeah, it was hard. It was rough. It was rough for me growing up. So yeah, back to, so for someone who didn't have parents, and I wasn't, I didn't have a normal childhood. My mother wasn't really around. My father, you can forget about it. And coming up as a child feeling like your parents don't even want you. And now the one person that you feel some kind of connection to, you have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to be constantly on point. You cannot disappoint at all, ever, not once in your life, or he will be upset and you will never be blessed. And like, it was just like, where is the pot at the end of this rainbow? Like, what is happening here? So confused as a child. And because again, in my soul, I knew that there was something else. And that's why I was like, I'm not getting what you're preaching. I'm not getting it. So you're saying if I wear hoop earrings, I'm not going into heaven. Is this what you're saying? If I don't wear stockings to church, you're saying I'm out. This is it. I'm done. If I sing one secular song, no way I'm making it in. This is what you're saying to me. Yeah, that's what they were saying. So, yeah. So that's why for me, sometimes it's a little rough around the edges for me to say God, because it reminds me of how I was brought up and how they taught me he was. And I know that's not his characteristic anymore, because I've freely moved out of religion into relationship. So to me, when I speak about him, I love to call him Abba, because he is my dad and he loves me. Right or wrong, good or bad, he loves me. And I really do love calling him Abba. It's like the best thing, you guys, to me. Coming from that traumatization, that's what I like to call it. He's Abba to me. So if you sometimes hear me just say Abba, understand that I'm very comfortable, and that's what I choose to call him, because that's who he is to me. Especially the life that I've had, he will always and forever be my Abba. So just to point that out, I didn't mean to go on that whole big spiel about it, but it's important that you guys know why I choose to call him that. But going back to prayer, I'm about to get emotional when I talk about my dad. I get emotional, y'all, when I talk about my dad, y'all. That's fine over the florals, right? Yeah. You know what else You know what else I forgot to do? Go through my, I knew this was I knew this was too easy. When I started filming, I'm like, okay, I just grabbed my stickers and I knew it was too easy. I forgot to go through my, I did this the last video too. I forgot to go through my faith sticker books to find my, oh gosh, you guys, to find my headers and things like that. All right, because I don't want this video to be crazy long. I have a, you guys see the stack here. You see the stack. And I like to pick out my headers, and I'm just trying to see which ones might have the color scheme that I'm looking for and roll with that. Let's pull that one. This one, not so much. This one is a good one. Yes. That's a gratitude. All right. I'm asking for forgiveness now, y'all, if this video is too long, because I had this under wraps. I thought I was going to sit here and be killing the game. And like, yes, I did it. 30 minutes. We're done. Okay. Let's go back into prayer. All right. So, yes, it brings us into relationship. Relationship. It's where our relationship helps our relationship to grow. Communication. You cannot have a relationship without communication. As in the spirit, so in the natural. It's the same thing. You cannot have a relationship with someone in a human form if you do not communicate. So you have to communicate. So that's what prayer is. Prayer is talking and listening. And listening when you pray. So, yeah. And we should not feel like prayer is a duty. It's not a duty. It is never a duty to sit and talk to your Father. It should be a delight. I don't, like, for me, my thing is, if you don't want to be here, I say this to anybody, especially in a relationship, bruh, if you don't want to be here, please be out. Because the last thing I want is somebody feeling obligated to be around me, to talk to me. Absolutely not. You can keep your conversation. No, thank you. So we should not be like that with Abba. It should not be like, here I go, let me go pray. I don't want to talk to you now. No, forget it. No, because you're coming already with the wrong attitude. If you don't want to talk to me, that's good. That's fine. It should never be a duty to pray. It should be a delight. And he also mentioned, my pastor talked about, like, and I never even thought about it. He was like, all these billions of people on this earth. And when I pray, he listens to me. And he listens to you, and he listens to you. We get his undivided attention with all these people in the world. And yet and still, I'm a minister to my own self. And yet and still, I be waiting around for somebody to give me quality time. What? When Abba is always right there, what you need, what you got, what you want to talk about. Let me know what's going on in your day. How you feeling today? What's bothering you? He want to know all about that. He want to know all about that. He's ready. He's waiting. Like, give me a minute. Let's talk. And one of my friends, she always used to say, well, she don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Something come up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I always say, well, did you pray about it? You know, we good for that. That's our first, all Christians. That's our go-to. Did you pray about that? So she always is like, yeah, you know, yeah, of course I prayed. And I'm like, but are you listening? Are you listening? It's good to pray, but you got to also listen. And sometimes it's great to just silence the noise. I used to always say this. I love to fast. What I don't like about fasting is when I'm done fasting, which is weird because I don't ever have to stop. You don't ever have to stop. But I know, like, if I fast from social media, right? Say if I fast from social media, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be on social media. I'm just gonna not do that, and I'm gonna seek God, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I know when the fast is over, I'm okay to get back on social media. But my thing is, I know gradually it's gonna get back to a place where it's like, girl, put the phone down. And I hate that it always comes to that. I really do. It bothers me that it always comes back to that. And that's what I always say when I'm doing a fast. It's like, once the fast is over, that's it. We're going to just do this here. I don't know if I'm going to label these boxes yet. I may just put the boxes down, y'all, and then label them so that, you know, when I start journaling, label them as I journal. And then when I go back to it, you guys can see, because I didn't pull out those boxes. And I feel like, I mean, those, I don't want this here. This is so off. I just want to keep these regular boxes. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to keep the boxes that I have going on, and then I'll just label them. That's what I'm going to do. And I think that's the method I'm going to continue to do. I just wanted to get some use out of those, what do you call it? I can't even talk, y'all. Out of the faith books, the faith sticker books. Maybe next time if I remember, but I don't feel like digging through those. I don't. Honestly, I don't. If I had already pulled them out and had them ready to go, it would be a different story, but it's hindering my conversation. I think I'm going to do that because it's cute. It's a little crooked, but I'm not pulling it up. No, I'm not. No. All right, so okay, back to the prayer. Yep, prayer is about relationship, not religion. Thank you, Jesus. It's a personal connection, not a ritual. That was a good one, too. And prayer brings perspective. It really does. And faith is the product of your relationship. So faith, as you continue to pray, you get closer to God. And because of that relationship, your faith is built up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have faith in a stranger, right? The first time you meet someone, the faith of that person is real low, okay? Because you don't know this person from Adam, right? But as you begin to communicate, as you begin to be around this person and spend more time with this person, you see the characteristics of this person, and you learn sometimes quite quickly if they are trustworthy or not. And you know if they're dependable. You know if you have faith in this person. If my tire blows or something happens, I know that there's such and such I can call, and I know that they would be here to help me. You can't say that to somebody you just met because you don't know them like that yet. The same with Abba. The more you commune with him, the more your relationship grows with him, your faith will build because you can now see how he's changing you and how you're feeling about him. And you know, my God don't play about stuff like that. Like, no, you know, there's certain things that will come to you and you'll be like, my faith is like, no, it's not even going to be shaken because I already know how Abba is. I know how he moves, and I know, you know, what, you know, I know that at the end of the day, he's still in control, right? So that's important. That faith is a product of your relationship. And what does this say? You know, that's sad when you can't even read on writing because I was writing so fast. Oh, bless. Whenever we put God first, it has the power to bless the rest. Yes. So let God be the priority of your life. Establish prayer as a lifestyle. Make prayer a priority as well. And those prayers will anchor your relationship with God. And make prayer your first response, not your last resort. How about that one? Because sometimes we're good for that, right? We try everything else and then we pray. You pray first. See, sometimes if you prayed first, then you wouldn't have to be going through all that other stuff. You could have knocked all that other stuff right out the box had you prayed first, right? So pray first. Don't make it the last resort. Don't go, okay, we done tried everything else, y'all. We might as well. No. No. Ooh, these things are sticky. Oh my gosh, that is horrible. Horrible. I don't know why it doesn't feel like this page is straight to me. Like, what is happening? I'm going to put this one down here. This thing still look crooked, but we're going to leave it because I can't. I ain't going to be fooling with you all day. Now, I think I want to put another girl on here. Yeah, so we read Matthew 6 and 5. And let's do Mark 1:35 and see what we got there. This is the amplified again. So early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went out to a secluded place and was praying there. So this is the scriptures. These are just some of the scriptures he mentioned about when he was saying how, you know, how much Jesus prayed and how he went away to pray. It's important to go away into a place by yourself to pray. I think I mentioned before that I used to, my time, I want to use one of my girlies. My time that let's do this one. My time that I used to set aside to pray was 2 o'clock. That was my time in the afternoon. I would take my lunch break and I would pray. And I'm going to tell you guys, just because it was my lunch break, I work from home, for those that don't know. But just because it was my lunch break, our lunch break is 30 minutes. I never, because that was my prayer time, right? So I was going to put her up here, but that's too. I could put her here. Is that crazy looking? Yeah. Because there's no box. Y'all. I still want to put her here, though. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm just like, because that's hanging off the edge. But if I put a quote or something there, right? Yeah, so I'm going to put some icons because it's bothering me that I don't have any icons on here. So, yeah, I didn't limit him. That's what I'm going to tell you. I did not limit my prayer time. Whenever I got done praying, that's when I got done praying. And I, of course, just made it up at the end. But I did not, just because I was using my lunch, I didn't limit him. I didn't say, well, I'm going to set my alarm and in 30 minutes, I'm going to be done. No, I didn't do that. It was my time with him, and however I needed to spend it, however long it took, it took what it took. I could put my memory verse here. But I miss those. I miss that 2 o'clock time. Anytime I hear a message about prayer, I always think about that. How I used to. That was my time with Abba. It was 2 o'clock every day. I would get to pray. I would get my prayer on. I love this. I'll put this here. Yeah, so we're doing the 21-day fast. And I need to figure out what because we get to choose what kind of fast we want to do. We can do the Daniel fast. We can do like the Jewish fast where it's like sun up to sundown. Or we can do a fast from things like social media or TV or whatever. So it's however we want to, however he said, however we want to, we feel we need to fast. Then that's the one that that's the one we do. Y'all know I love me a good strip quote. I don't want to put it over here. Maybe over here. So, I'm thinking if I do social media, which I can, no, I can't. There's no way. I was just thinking I could do my videos beforehand, but it's not enough notice. There's no way I can do that and get my videos already out, uploaded, and scheduled to cover it. Oh, you know what? Let's put this down here, and it's crooked. But it's something I want to do. I can do social media if I just, I'm not going to put something there because it ripped. I can do social media where I'm not on it. Like scrolling through and looking around and just doing my videos. And getting off. I am looking for didn't Amber come out with, I think she came out with a sticker book with faith quotes. I need that in my life. Yes, I'm looking forward to going back to teaching. I always say that. I always talk about it. Just gotta do it. I'm trying to see. I need some quotes or scripture or whatever. I don't like the gold foil. No. I always keep a list too, guys, of the Happy Planner Faith sticker books that I have in the description. So just in case, I don't know where if they're still available, if you can find them, but I do make a note of them in the description just in case. Yeah, I need a faith. I'm going to put my sermon notes here. This one's good. Put God first and watch your life change. I literally was just saying that. Make God a priority. I know it looks weird. I know it does, but I'm going to keep it that way. Because I don't know what else to do. All right. What else? I thought I used other stuff. I don't remember. Okay, sermon notes. I need a spot for gratitude, which I have. Some other stuff for, oh, my memory verse is going to go here. Maybe the things that I am studying for the week, I could put like little summaries here and there of like key points. I can do that. Am I missing anything? Oh, I used to do reflect. These are so tiny, y'all. These little tiny things. That's what I did. Reflect, and we'll do reflect here. And then we can do gratitude here. Yeah, and then if I'm trying to, this is crooked. Yeah, if I can't do my videos for the week, well, the social media for, what you call it, for these videos is not, it's not what I would consider. So we'll put church there, will not be considered like just chilling on social media, because no. So yeah, I still haven't decided if you guys are doing a fast with your church. Oh, why we didn't put the doves in here? Let me know if you guys do the 21 day or the 31, like for the whole month of, as my aunt would say, January. I may feel a bit crowded, but it's journaling, right? It's journaling. It's just having a space to write, a space to decorate. And I need to put something here, do I? And let me know what you're thinking about doing for your fasting. Are you doing the Daniel fast? My other church, we used to always do the Daniel fast. That's what it was. No eating after 8 o'clock. My other church, it was the Daniel fast, but you know, like no sweets, no meat, no caffeine, no eating after 8 o'clock, water or only natural like fruit juices. I'm trying to think what else. I think that was what we did in my older church, my previous church. And I believe it was 31 days. I think it was the whole month of January. And for my new church, it's 21 days. I think it's always been 21 days with them. And it's, we get to pick, what we're fasting from and how we're doing our fast, just as long as we are fasting. And yeah, so I didn't even get to use the pet tape, but that's cool. This is pretty nice, right? I mean, for somebody who didn't have all their stuff together, we made it through. Let's look at this last verse that I have. Actually, we have a couple. So the next one was 1 Thessalonians 5:17. And that one says, be unceasing and persistent in prayer. I need that in the King James, because I loves me a good King James version. Yeah, pray without ceasing. I love that one. Okay, and then we have two more. We have Luke 11:1. And that reads, and it came to pass that as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, Lord, teach us to pray as John also taught his disciples. So again, it's going into the Our Father prayer and in the ways in which we should pray, our prayer format, basically, the methodology behind it. And then we're going to go into Philippians 3:10. No. Yeah, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death. Let's look at that in Amplified. Wow, they broke that down a lot. Amplified says, and this, so that I may know him experientially, becoming more thoroughly acquainted with him, understanding the remarkable wonders of his person more completely, and in that same way experience the power of his resurrection, which overflows and is active in believers, and that I may share the fellowship of his sufferings by being continually conformed, meaning inwardly, into his likeness, even to his death, dying as he did. And that's what he was talking about in the 21 days of our fasting. Pray to know God more. And this verse is talking about that. That's how you get there. It's through prayer and communication, listening, talking, and then also listening. And I don't know if I finished the statement about my friend, but yeah, I think I did. How we just have to sometimes quiet the noise so you can hear. You can't hear from God, at least I know I can't, with everything, all the distractions, all the time, in my face, 24/7. And I know, like, there's parts of my life where I know, like, you could feel it. It's like, I just need quiet. Like, I'm at a space and place in my life where I just need to hear from the Lord. I don't need to hear what's going on TV. I don't want to know what's going on in the world. I don't need to see what everybody's doing on social media. I just need it to be quiet so I can hear, so I can get direction and get better understanding of where he wants me to go, what I need to do. And that's what I was trying to tell her. Sometimes you get in that place in your life where you just have to get somewhere and be still. Be still and just listen for his voice. And a lot of times, if he's not saying what we want him to say, we say, I ain't heard from him. Or I didn't know, I didn't hear anything. You did. You just didn't hear what you was expecting to hear. You didn't, you wanted him to say we want him to sometimes agree with our mess. And no, he's not going to. And because he's not saying what we need him to say or what we want him to say, we just act like we ain't heard none. No, you heard. You heard. You just didn't want to hear what was said. That's the thing, too. We have to acknowledge that. Sometimes how we feel things should turn out is not always how it turns out. But that's where building your relationship with God and praying and being in daily commune with him builds your faith to know that. And that's what I tell her all the time. The great thing about Abba is that you know he always has your best interests at heart. He is never going to let you down. He is never going to fail you. People will do that because they are people. We are flesh. We are not perfect. Sometimes we may fall. We may drop the ball in certain situations, not meaning to do it, but sometimes it just happens like that. But God doesn't drop the ball. He already knows what's going to happen. He's never surprised. I always say this by anything that happens in our lives, ever, never surprised. He already has a way of escape. He already has a plan. And it's up to you to go to him, get the answers, listen for the answers, and follow what he says. It's a whole thing. It's not just him. It's a two-part participation thing here. The same thing with prophecies. People's always running around trying to get a prophecy, trying to get a word. The word and the prophecy means nothing if there's no action behind it. If somebody prophesies to you and says, you know, your calling is to be a pastor, and yet you do nothing about it, then that prophecy will never be fulfilled because you have never done anything to move the prophecy ahead. He can't make you a pastor if you're still not doing what you're supposed to do. Everything has an action requirement to it. And the same thing with God, like with anything that we ask him for. That's it. It's not just, okay, God, move the mountain. Oh, here's another mountain. Can you move it? Excuse me. No, it's a sacrifice. What are we sacrificing? What are we changing? What are we doing? He's not like our sugar daddy, just handing us blessings. Here you go. Here you go. You don't have to do nothing. Just there are blessings that we get that are undeserved. Most of the blessings we get, 99.9% of the blessings that we get on a regular basis are undeserved. But there are some things that you have to do something to make other things happen. And again, we are not the author and the finisher of our own faith. So just because I would like this ending, right? I want it to turn out this way. God may already know that that's not the right way. But if we're not receptive, if our hearts are not open to receive whatever resolution he has for the issue at hand, then we're missing the boat. We have to go and pray with an open heart that says, however this works out, God, I trust you. Whatever you want me to do in this situation, I trust you and I'm going to do it. Whether it pains me to do it or not. Even like in a relationship that you know you are married to what's the word I want to use? The potential. You're married to the potential of the person, and you know that if they did this, this, and this, they would be a great person. I see it in them, Lord. I see it in them, Lord. And God is saying to you, that's not it. That's not it. And you holding on, and you're holding on, and you're holding on, and you're praying, Lord, why is this working? Why is it? And he done told you 8 weeks ago, let it go. But you're married to the potential. Oh, no, I know, God, I know. I know if he does this, and I know if he turns this around, he'll be a great husband. I know it. And he's saying, let it go. Let it go. And then you dismiss God's voice because he's not saying what you want him to say. You're dismissing it. And guess what? You decide you're going to marry him. And then you're 2 years into torturous marriage. Oh, praying, oh, God, here I am again. What is happening? What's going on? And he's like, I told you when you were dating him to let him go. You didn't want to hear me. I told you. And now look where you are. We got to trust that whatever God tells us to do is for our own good. And if he's saying to let go of something, this only means that he has something better for you. that he knows this ain't it, sis. You holding on to a Pinto and I'm trying to get you a Bentley. What is happening? Let the Pinto go. You want to keep driving something that you have to pray and cross your fingers every time you leave the house if it's going to turn on or not? I'm trying to get you to bigger and better. Let it go. But we don't want to hear what he has to say. We want him to say what we want him to say. And if he's not saying that, then I didn't hear from him. He ain't say nothing. He did. He did. You wasn't listening. Believe me. He told you. You wasn't listening. So we got to make sure we're praying. I'm speaking to myself. Speaking to myself too. Got to make sure that my prayer life is on point because I need all the direction I can get, y'all. I'm going to be quite honest. At my big age, yes, I need all the direction I can get because it's real out here, okay? And I ain't got no time to be messing around with no foolery or situations I got no business being in, dealing with people I got no business dealing with, being in places I got no business being in. It's a lot, especially now. 2025, it's a lot. So I'm gonna need a full-on spiritual GPS, okay? Fully loaded. Fully loaded spiritual GPS going on. But that's it, you guys. I hope this video is not too long. But this is it. This is going to be my spread in my spiritual journal for the week of September 5th through the 11th. That's where I was throwing myself off before. So this is the 5th through 11th. And then when I film again, it'll be on the 12th. But I will upload it and schedule it for Wednesday. So that is it, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so you are notified when new videos are uploaded. I will also link my pastor's message in the description as well if you want to go over there and take a listen to it as well. I'm telling you, he's gonna get, if you ain't hyped and ready for your fast, I'm telling you, he's gonna do it for you because he got me hyped. Yeah, and that's it. And you know, I will link Live.Love.Posh stuff and my code that'll get you 10% off of anything on her website, not including a box set like this, but she has these sticker books available individual. If you buy them individual, you can grab them with my code, but if you get the box set, you can't use the code. But she has other stuff on her website as well. And yeah, that's it. So I pray you guys are having an awesome week. I pray that, you know, everything is well with everyone. I'm so happy we all made it to see 2025. I pray everyone stay safe. Please stay warm. And I will talk to y'all later. Okay? Bye.